Have you ever wanted to learn how to play an instrument? Many people try to learn how to play one, but they give up after a few lessons because they found it too difficult. So today I'm going to be teaching you how to play a very easy song on the ukulele. The song is Vie En Rose, and it's a great song for beginners because it's super slow, repetitive, and it only has a few chords that you need to learn. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to tune your ukulele. I did this ahead of time, and when it's tuned, it should sound like this. Now, the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to learn how to play a few chords. So before I learn that, you're going to want to know a few things. And so the first is when I refer to your fingers, starting with your index finger, going down to your pinky, it's going to be finger 1, finger 2, finger 3, finger 4. Now the strings are very similar, starting from the top, going to the bottom, it'll be string 1, string 2, string 3, string 4. Now the pegs are the areas between the two sections, and so starting from the top, going to the bottom. Peg 1, peg 2, etc. So there's only 8 chords that you need to learn for this song, which sounds like a lot at first, but they're all very simple and build off each other for the most part. The first is G major, where you put your first finger on the second string on the first peg, your second finger on the fourth string on the first peg, and your third finger on the third string on the second peg, and it should sound like this. The next chord you need to learn is G major 7, where you put your first finger on the second, third, and fourth strings on the first peg. Next is E minor, where you put your first finger on the first peg on the fourth string, your second finger on your second peg on the third string, and your third finger on the third peg on the second string, which sounds like this. Next is C6, which is one of the easiest chords to play because you don't have to put your fingers anywhere and you just strum all open like that. Next you have D major, where you put your first, second, and third finger on the first, second, and third strings on the first peg. D major 7, where you put your first 3 fingers at the same spot, and you put your pinky on the fourth finger on the second peg. C major, where you put your pinky or whatever finger is most comfortable for you on the fourth string on the second peg. D major, or D6, where you put your first finger on all 4 strings on the first peg. And that's all the chords you need to know. So the strum pattern for this song is very simple because it's just down, down, up, up, down. And it sounds like this one played. Now the whole song will be following that pattern except for a few times where you just play a few downstrokes. Now the great thing about this song is you can play it as fast or as slow as you want, and you can change the tempo to make it easier for you. So for the intro, you're going to start with G major, G major 7, E minor, 2 downstrokes on C6, D major, D major 7. Now all of them follow that pattern, so as soon as you get that down, you'll have most of the song ready. So the first actual line, you start with G major, G major 7, E minor, C6 twice, and then D major twice. So when you play that whole line together, it'll sound like this. Now the next line builds off that one. You start at D major again, D major 7, back to D major, G major twice, D major once, and then C6, which altogether sounds like this. Now the next line, you start with G major again, go into G major 7, E minor, and then just 1 downstroke on C6, which sounds like this. And now at this line, the tempo changes just a little, and you're just going to do 4 downstrokes. The first on C6, then one on G major, C6 again, and then D6. Now you're going to go back to the original tempo for the final line, which is G major 7, C major 1, sorry, C6, D major, G major, which that line sounds like this. And that's the end of the song, so when you play it all together, it'll sound like this, with the lyrics. Hold me close and hold me fast, this magic spell you cast, this is Vie En Rose. When you kiss me, heaven sighs, and though I close my eyes, I see Vie En Rose. When you press me to your heart, I'm in a world apart, a world where roses bloom. And when you speak, angels sing from above, everyday words seem to turn into love songs. Give your heart and soul to me, and life will always be Vie En Rose. Thank you. I hope you learned how to play a new song on the ukulele. Have fun!